few necessities. When I next look back at the vast, towering house that rises like a fortress against the sky, I see it for what I now think it is, a place of danger and of dishonest murmurings. I look at it with relief and incredulity that this place held me for so long, incredulity that I am safe, incredulity at the beauty of the surrounding natural world. It is so good, safe, safe, safe. I am safe, I keep repeating to myself, as though I cannot quite grasp or get used to the idea. My voice peters out. I halt again near the lodge, close to where the gravel drive meets the country road, and look back, one last time, at the now toy-sized Gothic spectacle. How small and powerless the house looks at 200 yards. How foolish and flimsy. Like a cutout against the beauty of the infinite moonlit sky. Relief surges through me, and I breathe and turn finally, towards the road. I had come to Akenside Priory a decade earlier, in 1989, young for my 27 years, a sheltered Londoner, eldest daughter of my father's late-life second marriage. We 3 children were his second 11, the strawberry blonde batch born to an unconventional woman younger than his first daughter. I was more strawberry than blonde, a faded redhead, and easily emotionally exhausted. Life was febrile in our bohemian family home in Islington, as my parents were ill-matched, not only by virtue of the age gap. My mother was beautiful, not just to our indulgent and familiar eyes, but to everyone's. My sister Frankie and my brother Rob were striking in youth too, all of us echoing at least some aspect of our Nordic mother's sculpted looks. My father, bespectacled and grey-haired, was Professor of Fine Art at UCL and had painted her at the height of his powers. But after that, nothing went right, and neither of them made the other happy. It was a stormy marriage. We children grew up in the firing line, ducking and dodging, taking the odd bullet, anxious to keep both our very different parents happy. We were programmed to be polite. Tiptoeing around my mother, we lived in an atmosphere of simmering emotion, an environment in which eruptions could occur at any time. Mum took out much of her frustration on my introverted sister in more subtle ways than flying bullets, unwittingly unkind words that caused Frankie to become what grown-ups called withdrawn. Mum had had childhood traumas of her own, including parental abandonment, and no model of family life on which to base her own maternity. Sadly, she did not know her own unruly power, nor own up to and resolve her manifest unhappiness. She was fire to my father's more gentle ice. My brother Rob became strategically cool and just a touch aloof. Childhood illness, stoically endured, gave him resilience. Unlike my younger siblings who knew how to separate themselves emotionally, I did not so much become as remain excitable, and my father's word, impressionable. I was and would continue to be painfully anxious to please for far too long. As the eldest, I was spokesperson and go-between, tormented messenger between the separate bedrooms. It was a role I grew into naturally, my elastic empathy stretched in all directions. Dad was on the top floor, with views towards the New River Walk, while Mum sequestered herself off the first-floor landing, in a room that overlooked the shrubbery. This tree-enclosed park was where children who were allowed to shout and fight kicked balls around. But after Frankie and I were beaten up there, our legs slashed with a broken bottle by an older girl, my father told us to keep to the main road. The furthest we were allowed to walk was up a street, and even then our father would be hanging out of the window, looking anxiously for our return. Our father. He cared for us until it wore him thin, and most of his hair dropped out, and his grey flannel suits became loose. A doting grandfather of a dad, intent on compensating for what my impractical mother lacked, and for what he dropped us in, the consequence.